Hello, everybody, and welcome to this short demo on how to use RESTCONF protocol to communicate with the network device, right? Um, so before we get into the demo, I want to quickly take you through the RESTCONF protocol stack. So RESTCONF is a protocol that you can use to communicate with network devices, and this is how the protocol stack looks like. So for the transport medium, we will be using HTTPS. So we'll use port 443 to perform operations on the network device, like kind of retrieving information or performing configuration changes. We will utilize HTTP methods like get, post, put, delete, patch, and then the data format is going to be XML or JSON. Um, so to utilize RESTCONF, first the device must be RESTCONF enabled. Once that is done, that device is going to expose REST APIs, and we will target specific REST API endpoints to either retrieve information or to make configuration changes. Now let me quickly go ahead and switch to my demo. So for this demo, I will be using Postman as my client. And over here, you could see the specific endpoint that I will be targeting. Um, we are using HTTPS, and this is how basically any RESTCONF API endpoint format looks like. Over here, we would have the host name or IP address. We are running this over port 443 slash RESTCONF. This is going to be your entry point for RESTCONF into the particular device. And then Cisco NX OS device is going to be the Yang module we will be targeting. Yang is essentially data modeling language. It's how the operational and configuration data is modeled within the device. And within this, we will be targeting the top level container called as system, and under system container will have all the information related to that specific device, right? Also a very good endpoint if you want to have inventory of your device. For authentication, you could utilize your HTTP authentication. In this case, I'm using basic auth, so go ahead and populate your username and password. And also, depending on the specific device that you are targeting, the Yang module could change. Now I am using HTTP GET method for this specific endpoint. I'll go ahead and send this HTTP request. What I should see is in the response, I should see all the system level detail about the specific device. The response, you could see it in XML, and I think you could also see it in JSON format as well. Um, Let's see, it's taking a bit for this response to come through. We are seeing HTTP 200 OK being sent by the network device. All right, so this is how the response looks like, and this is the response sent by the network device. At the top, we see the system container. Under this, we see a bunch of like child containers. Each child container would have details about specific things. If you want to drill down, let's say if you want to see the CPU detail about the specific device, I could say CPU, and it would show me all the CPU related details, which is in its own container, right? Similarly, if let's say I want to be very, very specific and I want to know interface details of this device, what I could do is I could either find it from within this response, or I could be more specific in my HTTP query, and I'll go ahead and target an even more specific RESTCONF API endpoint. So I'll go ahead and target INTF items. So this should go ahead and this specific endpoint should give me the result, which would contain aggregated details about all the interfaces within the specific network device, right? So I see intf as like the top container, under which there are a bunch of sub containers or child containers, and bunch of list which would highlight details about this specific interface or aggregated interface. If we want to be more specific and say that I want to see physical interface details, then I can send in more specific endpoint query, and I'll say physical items, and it should give me um, the response, which would contain all the physical interface details. So I see I have the specific interface ID as Ethernet 1/13, and I also get to see what is the operational state of the specific interface. I see this interface is currently down, right? So similarly, you could go ahead and find details about any of the configurational or operational aspect of the given network device using REST API, right? If you want to make configuration changes, you could go ahead and change the method to, let's say, post and target the specific endpoint, and then you could send your query, right? So to quickly recap, RESTCONF is a protocol that you're going to use to communicate with network devices. These network devices, which are RESTCONF enabled, are going to expose REST API endpoints that you can target to send queries. All right. Thank you so much for watching.